we're trying an interesting recipe for a high protein, low carb, egg-free lava cake. Yeah, I have my suspicions about this recipe. I'm not gonna lie. I saw it on social media and I said, we have to try this because there's not many components that would make it a cake or work at all, in my opinion. This is by @NoahPerloFit. We'll be leaving his account linked in the description. I wouldn't say all of his recipes are keto friendly, but you can tell that they're like high protein and lower carb. Looks very luscious and decadent and moist. The other thing is, I think that they're trying to duplicate a Domino's lava cake. Instead of a little lava cake from Domino's, which I've never eaten, you can eat something about this size for less carbs and less calories. The only thing is that with a keto lifestyle, we stick to around 20 to 25 net carbs a day, and the size of this something is gonna be like 15 grams of carbs for the whole thing. And so you're not gonna wanna eat the whole thing.
I don't think you feel good after that.
Yeah,
either.
me either. So you might wanna just scoop out a hefty portion, probably about a third of it, into a bowl and eat it that way. It's all about just finding how this recipe can
work for you.
Right, and that's what we do here on our channel. And this video is sponsored by Element. Sarah and I have been drinking Element every day since 2020 because we love the way it tastes and the way it makes us feel on our ketogenic lifestyle. That's because when you go into ketosis, you shed a lot of water, and inside that water are your electrolytes. This can leave you feeling tired, having muscle cramps, or nausea, also known as the keto flu. Element replenishes your electrolytes so that you feel better. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Sarah and I like all the flavors of Element, but there are two that we are absolutely obsessed with, and that is the citrus salt and the grapefruit salt. You need to try them. And one thing we love about Element is that you can try Element completely risk-free. All you have to do is email them and they will make it right. Right now, Element is offering our Keto Twins community a free sample pack so you can try 8 of their flavors with any purchase. So you can get some citrus salts and get a free sample pack. In order to get this deal, you must go to drinklmnt.com/ketotwins. The ingredients for this recipe are some kind of chocolate whey protein powder. I do think it needs to be whey. They make that clear. You're gonna need 3 scoops for this recipe, about 60 grams. You're also gonna be needing a sugar-free chocolate pudding mix. You know, in the diet world, typically on Instagram or TikTok, they tend to use the sugar-free Jell-O brand pudding mix, but in the keto world, it's dirty. So we use Simply Delish one. He uses almond milk, so we're gonna be using this almond breeze stuff that we got off Amazon. Oh, cocoa powder. We ran out of the fancy Ghirardelli stuff, so we're just gonna be using the Amazon fresh stuff. You're also gonna need some baking powder, about a teaspoon of baking powder, and sweetener. I mean, I don't know if this is necessary because the baking chips have sweetener in it, but we're gonna follow the recipe. The other kind of curious thing about this recipe, which gives me doubts, is the baking temperature and the baking time. The baking temperature is 350 degrees, and the baking time is anywhere from 4 to 8 minutes.
4 minutes? That's, no, there's no way.
He said do 4 if you want it really lava-y, do it 8 if you want it drier.
Oh no, I think we should do middle then. So about, what, 6?
But think about it. Maybe the point is that there's no egg. Maybe you have to cook it just to warm it, and the Jell-O is the thing that's giving you the cake effect.
Maybe.
That's just my theory, okay? I have theories. Also, this is a very large bowl that we're gonna be using for this, but maybe you could put it into little ramekins, like self-serve. Right, single serve. But for the video, we kind of want it to be like his video where we're just like, look at this giant thing.
Don't chip your tooth.
We're gonna mix together our dry ingredients first, which are
the protein powder, cocoa powder.
No.
What?
That is the chocolate pudding mix.
Okay.
3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. It's gonna be very, very chocolatey. Baking powder. Sweetener.
Pinch of salt? Anyway. Maybe not.
Should I put some salt?
I think so. I think it needs a little salt in there.
This is like rock salt.
I know. Maybe that's a bad type of salt. Okay.
Oopsie-doo.
Milk of almond. Should all come together now. Now or never. Very chocolate smelling.
All right, in you go.
Just scoop all of it out. Get all of it.
Every drop because it doesn't look like much right now. This is no. This doesn't look like a lot of mixture, but his bowl is like narrower.
Is it a word?
Ours is narrower, and so it should come out the same.
Probably gonna be a thinner cake, ours, and his was thicker.
So we're just gonna swirl in a couple tablespoons of Lily's milk chocolate chips. He kind of like spreads them throughout. I want it to be kind of like a lava situation, right?
I don't think that matters. I don't think that that's where the lava comes from. It's just the consistency of the overall cake and not so much a filling.
Okay, well then we're just gonna put some chips on it. I don't know, a couple tablespoons. And then a couple more on top. They don't sink, he says. They just sit on the top. So a tablespoon or so on the top, a tablespoon or so mixed in. So the instructions are 4 to 8 minutes.
And now that we're thinner than we were, maybe I'm thinking it needs to be 5 minutes.
We're gonna go 5 minutes at 350. Be something.
Be something.
I blinked and it was beeping. That's too soon.
We usually like to have a cup of coffee or something.
I know.
While we wait for
5
something
minutes. No. Come on, it looks the same.
It has to. It cannot be liquidy. That's not acceptable.
That's not. Yeah. So let's go 2 or 3 more minutes. So 5 minutes was. It looks like Jello. That's
not even Jello. It doesn't. It just looks like liquid.
Minutes. Okay.
It looks a little solid.
No, I think it needs a couple more minutes. I guess still.
Okay.
2 more minutes. I don't really.
We're at 8 minutes.
All right, well, we cooked it way longer. It was like 11 minutes. We're gonna let it cool down like 5 minutes before we go downstairs and try this
lava cake.
Lava cake, exactly. Okay, I brought a little bit of like keto ice cream. This is just the carb smart stuff. Okay, please be something.
Oh, okay. It has an odd. Okay. It is. I would say it's a softer.
Look at you can
texture.
see in the middle. You can see it in the middle there.
It is fudgy.
Okay. There's no nice way to do this. It's just kind of goopy. Here we go.
Thank you. So it's like 1/3 is the serving.
Yeah.
Definitely chocolatey smelling.
We have about half left, so we didn't even do 1/3. But I'll just put a touch of, just a nice dollop on top of here. I still see a little steam. Okay. So let's try it. Lava cake. Going right for the lava part. Hopefully it's not hot as lava.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Very decadent.
I feel like it's very, very sweet. I think that you don't need to put the additional sweetener in here.
Because the protein powder has stuff in there.
And then the chocolate chips have sweetener in it. So I think that adding even more sweetener is just too sweet. That could be because we're not used to eating a lot of like sweet stuff.
But I like the texture. Maybe we could have not have cooked it for that long. Well, if you wanted it extra like pudding like, I would maybe cook it 5 minutes and let it sit. We let it sit for a while because we were setting up down here and stuff.
But it is pudding like.
My point is,
why not just serve it as pudding?
It depends on your preference of a lava cake. Do you want it like lava-y throughout? Or do you want it to be
how can it be lava-y throughout and a cake at the same time?
Okay, 7 minutes. No, how long do you think? 10 minutes? Then let it sit. It depends on what you like it. If you like it a little bit more gooey, then leave it.
This is pretty gooey though. You don't think so?
Until we put our spoon in there, we didn't really know. We thought, oh, it's solid. I would say undercook it and you can always put it back more in again if you scoop it out and it's not to your consistency.
This is the middle.
But I'm just saying.
How could it be less solid than that?
It can be, because if we had cooked it, it would have been.
Why would you want it
like
to
this.
be?
Because it's more like a pudding. I don't make the rules, okay?
You're making this up right now.
I'm not making this up. People like a pudding. I'm not saying anything is wrong. I'm just saying, like, once you overcook it, you're cooked. I'm not usually like a really, really dark chocolatey fan, but with the ice cream, it's really good.
And we have about 1/3 of it left, so this is about 4 grams of net carbs for this.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Also remember that guy, his dish was narrower, and so his cake was thicker. So
he would have had a more molten-y lava cake.
But I think you guys are gonna like this, and it's great because there's no keto flour in it. There's no eggs in it, and there's no dairy in it.
Very versatile.
We would rate this a Keto Twins rating of
3, 2, 1,
3.5.
4. So it's a 4.
Less sweetener. Well, we love trying recipes like this because we were doubtful that it was even going to turn into anything and that we were going to like it. So if you guys see any recipes like this that you want us to try, leave a comment below. And YouTube seems to think that you're going to like this video here, so why don't you click on it and we will see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.